Hello and welcome to an emergency episode of Ankle Sore. So if you've been living under a rock and haven't heard about the tribunal case regarding Paul Curtis and a 3-week suspension, if you haven't seen the incident, here it is.
Round. Berry went hard, caught from behind Sin, and cheese grated into the deck. He's going to have to pick the grass out of his teeth.
So on the 29th of April 2025, the game changed forever. The sanction handed was ridiculous and unwarranted in what was a tackle, which is a football act. The decision has changed the fabric of football as we know it. Gentlemen.
Emergency meeting at Ankle Sore headquarters.
On the round table.
Yeah.
On the round table, mate.
I know you were... A lot of people have been filthy about it.
It's disgraceful, mate.
Is it the weeks or is it the act, the football act?
Personally, I think it's a football act. I don't care about weeks. I don't care if you got 1, 2, 3, 9, 11. It's a tackle. So we're allowed to bump, but if you get them in the head, you get suspended, right? Okay. So now if you tackle and they get concussed, a football act, you get 3 weeks. There's no 1, 2, or 3. It's 1 or 2 or 0. It's 3 weeks.
The
right?
weeks were high.
Straight, but it's 0 or 3. That's
a joke.
Yeah.
That's the scope of it, right? Now, so if you go up for a mark and knee someone in the head accidentally,
Concussion,
is
3 weeks.
Is it 3 weeks?
Is it?
On the basis of that,
Right.
It's 3 weeks.
That's my point. So
Dear
this is why yesterday, April the 29th, changed the game
sure it
forever.
wasn't April the 1st.
I'll tell you what, for
feels
once
like
you
it.
start to think it was a joke.
It's changed everything.
It was holding the ball.
Yeah, I know that.
But you had people, I was listening to
Yeah, poor opportunity.
and someone goes, it was in the back. You can argue
Okay.
both, because he did fall
That's
in
fair
the back
enough.
a little bit. You can argue
Oh,
that.
I'll
Yeah.
cop in the back.
But give me your words, give me a spell.
No, your words. Give me a spell.
How on earth is he supposed to stop, pull up, and tackle him around the side and roll him over at that impact point?
So I heard Nathan Buckley on
Yeah,
the
this is what I
radio
was
this
gonna-
morning, right?
Perfect
Now,
what he said.
he was arguing with Jared Waitley, who, mate, you should be better than this, Jared Waitley, seriously.
Jared Whaley has been poor in this whole
Yeah,
thing.
he's been...
He's been fanging, I'll
Yeah.
say that word,
Yeah.
fanging to make sure,
Fanging.
Yeah, fanging.
It gets smart's dog.
yeah, fang, to make
yeah.
sure that Curtis
Paul Curtis, yeah.
gets upheld.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was going
Oh,
bananas.
that's bad.
Oh, nah, this has to be, you can't let him off. If he gets off, this sets a pre... Are you all right, mate, or
Go.
what? Nah, you're
Nathan
not.
Buckley.
No, you see his bit. So Nathan Buckley said to Jared Waitley this morning, so the best kicking team kicks at 72% in the AFL. The best handballing team handballs at 77%. The best tackling team tackles well 6 out of 10 times, right? The game is not perfect. Not one player is perfect. How do you expect
No
someone...
act is perfect.
no act is perfect. How do you expect someone to tackle and be perfect every time? It's impossible. Because we don't kick perfectly every time. We don't mark perfectly every time. We don't handball perfectly every time. So how do you expect the AFL? So what the judiciary said last night?
Judiciary, fantastic.
Well, that's what it is.
It is.
Or the tribunal, whatever you want to call it.
I like it.
That kangaroo court, right?
That's what it is.
Pardon the pun, kangaroo. But anyway, they said, oh, you should have done this, you should have done this. You should...
Oh,
so,
yeah.
So in the
In
split
slow
second,
motion.
he's going to do 4 things.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
So he's going to go, oh, hang on, I'll grab him. I'll go let one hand go. I've got to pull him to the side, and I've not got to fall on his back and make sure he doesn't get concussed.
Minus the amount of tools in a Sid Chrome tool set.
You know what I was saying?
It's appalling.
But you know what I was saying as well? You know, you said about the arm. I don't know who said
Eddie
it.
Maguire.
He should tackle him by one arm. I don't know who said
Oh,
that.
no, okay.
How do you tackle him by one arm?
Eddie Maguire was big on how on earth does he do those 3 things at 100 miles an hour?
Defending
yeah.
Paul Curtis, was he? Okay.
Yeah, yes. How does he do those 3?
I just reckon they're ruining the game, these clowns, the AFL. I mean, Andrew Dillon, where are you?
No, don't know. Sonia,
Laura Kane.
Laura Kane came out today.
Sonia Wood, you're going to say.
Yeah, she good
Laura
on
Kane
you. Good on
came
you.
out.
Good on
She
her.
answered some questions.
She was actually okay, but what are you doing? So they've stated that they're not going to change the rules mid-season, which is appalling, right? If you've got something wrong, you should change it immediately.
The reason being?
She didn't give a
Because
reason.
If
We think.
we think is
we think.
if they change it
Paul
and
Curtis
someone
has got
does
the
it,
whack.
someone does it and gets a week, Curtis has got 3 weeks and they've
Okay.
changed it a week after. Do you know what I mean? Like, you can't make him escape.
But you took the words out of my mouth. How many times have the AFL made someone a scapegoat? Oh, he gets 4 weeks, so we show everyone what not to do, right?
Yep.
Okay, so he's a scapegoat. Okay,
Okay.
so be it, right? So what happens if it happens next week, the week after, the week after, the week after? Then what?
Which leads me to, if you fucking interrupt you.
Yes, you can.
Question for you. I think I've spoken. Question, both of you. So, week 1 of the finals comes around. Collingwood v.
How about preliminary final?
It's Collingwood
Playing
and the
the
Western
grand final.
Bulldogs, and Bontempelli and Dacos are in the situation.
No, it doesn't have to be. Dacos tackles.
Could you imagine that?
Dacos tackles Fraser, whatever his name is. And
Raya.
Right? And by accident, the same thing happens by accident. Do you reckon Nick Dacos plays in the next week? Or do you reckon Nick Dacos gets 3 weeks and that's in the grand final for him? Nah.
So what-
Give me a spell. You're right. Give me a spell,
Why do you
AFL.
put pressure on
Give
me?
me a spell.
Why do you put pressure on me with Collingwood and Nick Dacos?
No, I love Collingwood. By the way,
Why
By
do
the way-
I have to
It just
answer
so
that?
happens because he's the best player in the AFL.
by the
right?
way, I love Nick Dacos. I'm only using him as an example because he's the best player in the AFL, and I like Collingwood.
Which
So
you've
before I
admitted.
get
I
lambasted,
like Collingwood too.
Finally,
No,
it took
all
6
right.
weeks.
I didn't say
Yeah,
Mark-
well, forget. Okay, Bontempelli pushes,
Alright, let's
tackles
use
a player
Bontempelli.
in the back preliminary final night.
Yep.
The Dogs have had a great season and they've
Yep.
on their way to a granny.
Yep.
And he gets 3 weeks for that.
Do you reckon he does, or do you reckon somehow he plays? Come on, mate.
He should be getting 3 weeks like everyone else.
He's
What
like-
do you think will
we know
happen?
that.
Yeah.
Dacos, Bontempelli, Cripps. I'm just going to bring
That's
up
a good-
Dangerfield. Mate, Dangerfield got
Yeah.
off this last year. You know why?
Didn't
Because he
that-
went in
yeah.
and defended
Yeah.
himself. He actually used the
yeah.
gift of the gab and got away with
They
He's
it.
a
did
good
say
bloke.
that.
He's a
yeah.
good bloke.
Well, Charlie Cameron was a good bloke too.
He's a good bloke. You got away with it. Yeah. So if you're a good bloke, so Paul Curtis clearly isn't a good
Nah,
bloke.
clearly
Gee,
not.
you're an ordinary bloke, Paul
Yeah,
Curtis.
yeah, we're going to give you 3 weeks and make you a scapegoat.
Oh, but you know, this conversation probably wouldn't have happened if it was 1 week.
Probably, I said
Yeah,
that.
probably not.
Probably not.
I'd not be happy with a week, but I'd cop a week.
Would you swallow a week?
Oh, I
Yeah,
swallow it and go,
probably.
this is ridiculous. But,
But you swallow it and you
I'll
move
swallow
on,
it,
right? You
yeah,
move
yeah.
on.
yeah.
You move on.
Yeah.
3
Like-
Look, the
What-
problem...
Yeah, sorry.
So you were going to say...
No, I was going to say 1 week is sending a message to go, mate, missing 1 week is a big deal,
Yeah,
right?
it's sending a message.
3 weeks,
That's
not
outrageous.
necessary.
So I'd like to know, I don't know what the answer is.
Yeah.
Okay, the AFL want to go down this path. That's fine. Are they educating the club and the players and saying,
true. Yeah.
this is what's happening and here's 15 minutes of our time? Number one, is the AFL coming out and educating us as supporters?
No.
So we don't have to carry on and you guys around your water cooler and your coffee machine
talk
at work
about this,
don't have
yeah.
to talk about it.
Yeah.
And maybe the subject's not through confusion.
Yeah.
It's through an educated decision on what
Correct.
you see.
Totally.
Come out AFL. Give us put it on Fox Footy or Channel 7 or Channel 9. Half an hour. Give us half an hour at 11 o'clock at night. Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't have to be prime time.
Doesn't matter.
And run it through with us and everyone else.
Because right now they're taking the urine out of
Urine,
every
my
supporter.
word.
Everyone.
Every supporter
True.
by just
Because
little do they know, right? So the Major League Baseball had a strike in the
Yeah.
90s.
Yep.
The NBA had a strike,
They did.
right? I'm not
Yeah.
saying the players are going to strike, but there's going to come a point where either supporters or players are going to go, this is ridiculous. Harry Sheasel actually came out on Dwayne Russell's show today and said, I think they've gone too far.
they have, and they are, yeah.
Right? We've signed up for this. We know we can get injured.
Yeah.
It's a contact sport, AFL.
See what people are saying? People ringing up and going, mate, I just don't feel like going to the footy anymore because it's not the game I grew up with.
What about Luke Parker's?
Oh, fantastic.
Instagram?
Did you see what Luke Parker wrote? What did he
Yeah.
write? Please.
If you want to
attend-
come to our
Nah,
touch
please,
football game.
Yeah, please attend our touch football game against Essendon Thursday night.
And that leads into this game. Soccer doesn't have a problem. It hasn't. Like their
No.
rules are regulated.
Yep.
Basketball is non-contact, but
Yep.
I'll tell you what, you can contact. But
Yeah,
you know,
but
they're-
within reason,
this game, it's very hard to.
It's a 360 game too. It's
right.
one of the
It's a
only 360 games.
yeah, correct.
So there's only one solution. I'm going to be really sarcastic and say, "Oh, we remove tackling."
Yeah,
No,
basically.
you're right. Or you know what's going to happen? You know what's going to happen one day, Angelo. You can't take it. You can't take it
What do you
from
mean?
behind. Can't take it from behind. So if I've got the ball,
That's what I
I
mean.
can see in front. If no one's coming towards me, I've got all day.
Is that
'Cause he
what you
can't
want
touch me from
AFL?
behind.
Like I'm not really
It is
sure.
embarrassing. Embarrassing.
Yeah, they're
It's like indoor touch footy.
it is, and
Like
look,
the 60s on Channel 7.
If you're from Melbourne, I don't know if they have them interstate, but all the indoor footy sheds which have all gone just about, but there's still a couple around. That's non-touch.
non-contact, which is
Non-
great.
AFL
yeah,
9s,
just wanna-
AFL 7s.
No one gets injured, but
No one gets injured. No one
But-
gets concussion.
we just want to say that concussion ain't a joke. Like, we don't want anyone to get concussed.
Mate,
But accidents happen. So this week, if someone kicks the ball into someone's head and concusses
So
them,
what happens then?
That's an accident. It's a
That's a
football
football
act.
act.
Right. A
question
football
for you.
Again, it's an accident.
Question for you guys. So you just triggered my head. So when Bailey, what's his name, kicked the ball, threw the ball at, what's his name?
Bailey
What
Smith,
happens if
yeah.
Bailey
yeah,
Smith.
At, who was
Concussed
it?
him. Joe Menimpi. Yep.
Yeah.
So what happened? No, all jokes. What happens if he gone off the
Fell
ground?
over and
What
yeah.
happens then?
Oh,
Does he get 3 weeks?
Oh, I'm asking. Does he get 3 weeks? He threw the. He
well,
actually
it's
snaked
not
the
a
ball.
football act,
And that's
so he
not a
should get
foot-
6.
Thank you. That's not a
If,
football act.
on the basis of that.
So why did he just get a fine or whatever? Like, okay, I get it. Let's not be silly,
Yeah, I
right?
know.
It's worthy of a fine, but the AFL always come out and say, "Oh, it could have caused harm." Well, so
Yeah.
could have that.
That's right.
So could have that.
100%.
Yeah.
If he slams that ball hard enough in his face when you're not expecting it,
That's right.
that can cause harm. So, mate, you can't have it both ways, AFL.
Heaven
Now,
forbid it happens in a big game.
That's what I said to you.
it is
Heaven
gonna
forbid it
happen.
happens
We
in
know
a
it's gonna
preliminary
happen.
final.
I mean, look at Maynard a couple of years ago.
Yeah,
Well,
I know.
You know, in finals, mate, the pressure's on.
Yeah,
The,
yeah.
the
It's-
intensity goes up, mate. You're not thinking about this bloke's running. You're going to try and bloody.
Well,
tackle
none
him,
of the
aren't
players do think like that.
Nah, of course. Now, I just want to make a quick point here about Zach Butters. All right. So in 2024, I reckon he got fined 5 or 6 times. Right?
Was it 7?
Maybe even 7.
you? Okay, well,
Now,
they're
not all for
thereabouts.
striking, but there were at least 2 for striking. Right?
Are they football acts?
Thank you. Not
That's the question.
football acts. Not football acts. Yet AFL, they want to sit there and go, oh, but it trickles down to the younger kids and the what's it called? The kick, halftime kick.
Oz
that
kick.
thing. Oz kick. Okay, no worries. So punching someone,
Yeah.
whether it's hard or soft, is allowed, is it? Yet a tackle, which has been in the game for 150 years, you all of a sudden don't deem a football act.
Okay, so like
It's
you said,
disgusting.
so it's throwing these little crap
It
punches.
doesn't matter.
That's setting you a good example. So the kid looks at that and go,
Oh, I
"You
can
didn't get
do that."
suspended." Like, oh, I'll whack him.
Exactly.
That's right.
Hypocrites. They're hypocrites.
Hypocrites,
They're
no
of
idea.
the highest order.
The most unprofessionally run organisation, sport organisation you can come across. It's pathetic.
Rugby league and rugby union,
Don't have these issues.
they tackle. They tackle predominantly more than
And
than
hard.
us.
And legs.
And hard. And it's all.
And they get sin binned and whatever. Mate,
So
they're going about it the wrong way.
They have to educate clubs and have tackling sessions. They've got to.
Oh, this is.
I'm sure they
it's
do to
becoming
some
a-
extent.
It's becoming a natural circus.
ridiculous.
It is
Yeah,
a
it's a natural
circus.
circus,
It's a
mate.
3-ring circus, mate. And bring back Gil McLaughlin because he would handle this perfectly.
I agree.
Well,
Honestly, let's
Jeff
be honest.
Walsh has come in to support, but we don't hear anything about him.
No, of course not.
But look, at the end of the day, the game is not what we.
What we grew up with.
No, not even close.
And,
Not
and
even
look,
close. Not even close.
some of it's good. The
Yeah.
high hits behind plays.
No, I agree.
that was-
We have to get rid of that. But
cheap
again,
shots.
they're not football acts. We never wanted those in the game.
No.
As a kid, you go, oh, he's tough and whatever, but you didn't understand, right?
No.
But they're not football
So
acts.
they'll outlaw the high mark next then.
Yeah, because a knee in the back of the
Because
head.
a knee could cause.
right.
Yeah, no, it's
Dear.
actually embarrassing.
Totally embarrassing. I agree.
There you go. Our say on current proceedings. Let us know what you think in the comments down below, and we'll see you in the next one.